Making our headlines this Wednesday, September 24th, the Cayman Islands National Weather Service gives an update on the current storm activity in the region and the hurricane season forecast. A Finance Committee meeting has been called for Thursday, September 25th, and a warm welcome home for Cayman athlete Davonte Howell. Good evening and welcome to CIGtv News, your official source for the most accurate government information. I'm April Cummings. Mr. Shamal Clark, Research and Media Manager for the Cayman Islands National Weather Service, stopped by CIGtv to give an update on the current storm activity in the region and the 2025 hurricane season forecast.
So far for the hurricane season, it has been relatively quiet compared to what the initial predictions were calling for. And we are definitely happy for that. We count our blessings that it has been quiet, but we still want to remain vigilant at the same time. So it's that time of the year where we've approached peak hurricane season, usually about mid-September into early October. That is the time for, the most frequent tropical storm activity. So we can observe from the recent National Hurricane Center tracking maps, you see a lot more activity popping up. And that is because it is just reflecting that we're at that point where the frequency will increase. So my message to everyone is that as we progress through the remainder of the season, remain vigilant. We are heading towards October. And what does that mean for us in the Cayman Islands? Well, this is the portion of the Caribbean, the Atlantic basin in general, where the genesis for tropical storms is highest. So we expect storms to develop in the western or northwestern Caribbean at this time of year. So looking at the average based on climatological and historical tracks, you'll see in October, orange being the most likely area for tropical storms to actually occur. So that is why we need to remain vigilant, especially as we move into October and then into November. This means that we don't have that much lead time typically when systems develop in the Northwest Caribbean, because you have a system that just forms as just a cluster of convection, a cluster of precipitation, tropical depression, and then overnight you could wake up to a tropical storm. So there's not a lot of lead time versus a system that is coming from the Atlantic where you could watch it, you could track it, and you could see, hey, you have an advisory, you have an alert, watch, warning phase. This means that things could happen quickly within a 24, 48-hour period. So it's important to remain vigilant, ensure that you're following official sources of information for weather updates. I know there's a lot of information out there, but we do encourage that you do check what is being put out by the official government channels, the National Weather Service, Hazard Management, Cayman Islands. Just make sure that you're getting the correct information that is tailored to us here in the Cayman Islands to ensure that you can act and respond when a need arises, should a need arise, that is. We're hoping that we could go through the entire hurricane season without any activity here. But again, based on the historical evidence, this is the time when the Northwest Caribbean tends to see most of its activity.
This update correlates with the conclusion of this year's National Week of Readiness. Earlier today, there was a public awareness activity at the Government Administration Building hosted by the Cayman Islands National Weather Service and Hazard Management Cayman Islands. Staff shared information on the national alert levels, their color codes, and steps to take in preparation and response. Throughout the week, local supermarkets highlighted hurricane-ready pantry items in stores, online, and in newsletters, helping the public stock up on essential supplies. The week opened with a joint message from Premier Honorable Andre Ebanks and HMCI Director Danny Coleman, urging the community to stay prepared. Residents are reminded to remain vigilant as the second half of the hurricane season is typically associated with a greater risk of rapid storm intensification. The Honorable Rolston Anglin, Minister of Finance and Economic Development and Chair of the Standing Finance Committee, has called a meeting of the Finance Committee for tomorrow, Thursday, September 25th. The meeting takes place in the House of Parliament and is scheduled to start at 10 a.m. The public is invited to watch the meeting on CIG YouTube and cable channel or listen to the live broadcast on Radio Cayman Breeze 105.3 FM. Now for today's sports news. On September 18th, Cayman Islands Olympian national athlete Davonte Howell arrived home after an incredible record-breaking summer season on the world stage. The Honorable Nicholas DaCosta, Minister for District Administration and Home Affairs, Mrs. Julie Hunter, Parliamentary Secretary on behalf of the Honorable Isaac Rankin, Minister for Youth, Sports, Culture and Heritage, and Mr. Dalton Watler, the Deputy Chief Officer for the Ministry of Sports, welcomed Davonte at the airport. They were joined by Davonte's family, enthusiastic members of the Cayman public, and excited schoolgoers, all coming together to celebrate his achievements.
I just want to say, Davonte, that we are also very proud of you. I am representing Minister Rankin and the Premier and all the members of our government. Unfortunately, we have an important caucus for the next 3 days, so they were not able to come. But I just want to say that we are so extremely proud of you, and all of them wish that they could be here to meet you in person.
That, you know, when you ran your race, when you got your medals, when they made all the announcements, caucus went wild. We were celebrating, pounding the tables, everything. So not only the government celebrates with you, but the country celebrates with you. This was an exciting achievement. You did remarkable, and we look forward to your continued success.
Thank you.
Of course.
Davonte shared his thoughts about his performance throughout the season.
My summer season went pretty well, in my opinion. It actually went better than my collegiate season. So, summer season did start off in Barbados, where I went 10-15. It wasn't as fast, but the point was just to win and train through until I made it to Tokyo. It then went on to Memphis, where I ran under 10 seconds for the first time, running 9.93, slightly winddated. And I backed it up in Paraguay, where I broke the games record twice, both in the prelim and in the final, and solidifying my spot in Tokyo with a 9.98 legally.
He also spoke about his performance in Tokyo.
Honestly, that's not the performance I wanted. My coach and I had aspirations of going out there running 9.8, and all the preparation going up to the meet had that to happen. However, as soon as I got there in the prelim, well, not in the prelim, before the warm-up, I had hurt my hamstring, unfortunately. But that's what happens when, you know, you have that long of a season. When I'm running from December all the way back now to September, you know, your body does need a rest, so it finally caught up with me.
Now Davonte is looking forward to some well-deserved downtime on his return home. It is time now for our weather forecast. Generally settled conditions are expected through the next few days as a ridge of high pressure remains across the Northwest Caribbean. Tomorrow we can expect a slight chance of afternoon showers, winds northeast at 5 to 10 knots, and smooth seas with wave heights of fewer than 2 feet. For local weather updates, be sure to visit the Cayman Islands National Weather Service website, weather.gov.ky, and follow their Facebook page for the most reliable coverage. If you're watching us on the CIG YouTube channel, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay informed with the facts straight from the source. That's all for today's News Brief. I'm April Cummings. From all of us here at CIGtv, have a great evening, and we'll see you again tomorrow.